we continue our knowledge sharing mission through a series of interviews with marketing leaders from all over the world. And today we are thrilled to have Katie here with us.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to CMO Chats. My name is Katie Marcham, and I'm the Vice President of Marketing at ThoughtSpot.
Hi, Katie. Why don't you start off with telling us a bit about yourself and your role at ThoughtSpot?
Yeah, perfect. So I'm Katie. I'm the VP of Marketing. I look after EMEA and APJ marketing. I've been here nearly 3 years now. And ThoughtSpot is an AI analytics company. So it's really all about making analytics more accessible for the business user and giving them clear insights into the data in whatever role they're in, whatever technical capacity they have.
And can you tell us a bit more about how you actually got into marketing?
Yeah, so I actually fell into marketing, I think you would call it. So I didn't study marketing. I think if you'd asked me back at school, I wouldn't have really even known what marketing was. So yeah, I really had a non-linear journey into marketing. I actually used to be a personal trainer. So I was a personal trainer for many years. And then it was actually a family friend who had an opportunity at a hardware printing company called Star Micronics. And he offered me an opportunity to come in and interview to be kind of an entry-level marketer. So basically everything from getting coffee to like serving ice cream on event stands. And so I got in that way. And then I was lucky enough that they invested in me and they invested in my studying, which I did alongside personal training and another job as well. And then sort of worked my way up in my career, found myself in more of the software side, and went up from there, really.
Wow, that's pretty fascinating, Katie. And are you still also training at the same time?
I do outside of work, yeah, but not in a professional capacity anymore.
Okay, sounds great. And what would you say is your main marketing focus at the moment?
So everything I do is all about driving pipeline for the company. So we have pipeline targets that we have to adhere to, so opportunities for the sales team. And it's really about trying to position ThoughtSpot as a leader in this very broad, a very diverse AI market at the minute. So really trying to position ThoughtSpot as a leader in the agentic analytics part, and then kind of that leader for the modern enterprises.
So what would you say is at the very top of your priority list, marketing-wise, for this year?
I think it's making sure that we cut through the noise. So elevating that AI analytics narrative that we have and we have been doing for a while now, and really getting to that crux of solving that pain for those business users and making the data more accessible for them. We're really big on driving that account-based growth into the enterprise. And then trying to establish ThoughtSpot as a brand that you can trust amongst all the noise in this category at the minute. So that's the main focus.
Sounds great. My next question to you, Katie, is what would you say is the biggest challenge marketers face today?
I think other than the noise in the AI market, which I think I just mentioned, it's really, for me, the biggest challenge is how do you make sure that you are putting your product out there in the best light? So making sure that we're building the brand of the product itself and the trust behind the product. Also getting that brand awareness of ThoughtSpot out there, because the brand awareness of ThoughtSpot still needs to build. So getting that out there in a crowded market, whilst also balancing that with trying to get some quality pipeline and revenue. So kind of balancing that volume and brand awareness over the quality pipeline and leads for the sales team is probably the biggest challenge.
That's very interesting as well. You know, trying not to sacrifice also the quality of the leads in your pipeline that you're getting as well. Yeah. Definitely very, very important. And regarding that as well, Katie, I'd be curious to know more about, for example, a specific example of a campaign or an event that you may have hosted last year. And I'd love to hear, why you think it was so particularly successful as well.
Yeah, so I think one of the biggest changes we've made over the last year is to lead with product and put the product at the forefront of all of our messaging. So we've actually turned, we do product launches and we do them quarterly. We've actually turned them into a marketing event. So previously they'd just be a product release, but we've actually turned it into a marketing event. So we do like a full hybrid. We have customers in the office and then we have customers online, prospects online, and we turn it into much more of an event and a brand awareness opportunity, really, but also positioning the product at the forefront, which we haven't really done that before. We haven't really made it all about the product, but also about the people behind the product. So the product leaders, all the way down to the engineers that we have in the business, and really putting them on stage and spotlighting them and how reputable they are. It comes across really well in the market, so it's been really successful. And then we also have our customers presenting at that as well. So we have our customers who have beta versions and have been testing it. We have them kind of spotlighted as well. So it's more about the people as well, which it works really well.
Yeah, sounds great. And is that mostly organized by ThoughtSpot as well?
It is, yeah.
That's great. You must have a very very capable marketing team as well.
Yeah. We do.
Amazing. My next question, Katie, I'd like to know what you think is the biggest opportunity for senior executives such as yourself in marketing today, which may not have been true in the past, for example.
Yeah, I think, and I'm not just saying this because it's our product, but I think it is the data piece, right? I think I look back at my career and the positions I've been in and the conversations I've been in, and I was never able to get to a place where I could self-serve data as much as you can now, with or without the product that ThoughtSpot is marketing. But you can definitely get to a much better place with data where you're able to come across trusted and reputable in these conversations at the C-suite level. So I think that's a huge opportunity to just be able to leverage that data, like where ThoughtSpot plays is obviously in the conversational AI. So we ask, you can ask natural language questions and then you can get the data back. So you can ask questions to the data and then get natural language answers out of it, which to be able to do something like that in the middle of a senior meeting when you're being grilled on what pipeline you've driven, what brand awareness you've driven, how a particular campaign has performed against a competitor, to be able to just have access to that data without having to say, oh, I'll go and get an engineer or I'll go get an analyst to build that for the next meeting. I think that's such a great opportunity because it makes you much more reputable. It just elevates how you can perform at work every day, I think.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think data is very, very important, not just to justify results, but also make the right decisions based on that data as well. Definitely. My next question for you, Katie, what career advice would you give to anyone else starting in marketing?
Yeah, I actually love speaking to people who are just starting out in marketing. It's one of the things I love doing. I think the three pieces of advice I always give is, number one is to start anywhere. So like I said, my career wasn't very linear in marketing. I believe you can get into marketing with any background. It's tougher depending on which direction you go. But I think start anywhere and take any opportunity that comes to you to learn. And then I think learn about the business is the second thing. So don't just go in and sort of pigeonhole yourself in the marketing department, because actually your success, and as you grow in marketing, your success is much more about how you know the business and how you can partner with various cross-functional areas of the business, like the sales team, like the product team. That will determine your success more than just remembering like the marketing playbook that you learn in studies. And then the third thing I think is I would always say go and work, ideally in an office, like go and work in an environment when you can just be a sponge and soak up all the information and learnings from other people. I think I got so much out of just learning from other people.
Definitely. No. My last question to you, Katie, actually is, how would you describe your role in one word? and why?
God, I think I would describe it as like a ringmaster in a circus. So I was thinking about this. I think I'd describe it as a ringmaster in a circus, because I think you have to keep everyone moving forward, keep everyone aligned and performing on cue at various different departments. So I think definitely a ringmaster.